everyone. This is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show. My name is Vanita Lambert. I am the host of this show. And of course, we have my co host over here, Donna Bourne. Hello, Donna. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Glad to have me.
Good. And we have a very special guest today. Her name is Dominique
Excited.
Turner. She is a mental health advocate. She is the president of Level Up Warriors. So we're going to be talking about a very exciting, full of information subject that we all need to hear about. I'm excited to have her here.
Yes.
Not that mental health is exciting. I
I
didn't
am
mean
excited.
it that way. I am so excited because this is information that we want to discuss. We want to bring this to our community and just, basically it's just conversation, how everybody's feeling, how everybody's doing, why, when, where, and what caused it. So this is something that's really, really needed all over the world, if you can see what's happening. Evidently, there's a lot going on, and there's not a lot of talk about it. But before we get into that, I just want to say, once again, about our COVID, we have to talk about COVID every single day.
Yes.
Okay. We're doing so well. There's 44.8% of adults in this country fully vaccinated. And I know Connecticut is doing really, really well. And I am really proud of everybody in the work that we're doing. So, and I'm starting to feel free. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Going
feeling
without
free.
your mask. Like, you
Yes.
still have to wear it in some places, but,
Yeah.
we're getting back to normal. So everybody, if you're able to get the vaccine, get it. If you can't get it, wear a mask until we get to that herd immunity. But I just want to say thank you for doing your part to crush COVID.
Yes.
And on that note, I want to just welcome Dominique Turner to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so excited to have her. We met at Black Wall Street.
Yes, that was such a great, phenomenal event. I met a lot of people, and I was blessed to be invited here to be interviewed and talk about the dynamics of mental health and, what it means to me, what I've been through with it, what I've seen others go through, and just learning how to cope with it. So I thank you, too, for letting me come.
You are very welcome, and you can come back at any time. But I would have a question for you. Was that your first Black Wall Street event that you've been to?
Yes, it was.
What? You've been missing out.
I had the honor of being invited to Black Wall Street, which was in Bridgeport Hall neighborhood by a Bridgeport author named Ashera Jordan. And it was an honor because we grew up together, outside of the business world. And we're basically like family, When you grow up with people, they become family, and you get attached. So, that was a blessing for her to invite me there. I met a lot of people that I ended up networking with, and it's just getting my business off the ground and making it worldwide known. So, yes, that was an honor.
I love Black Wall Street. It's for all of our vendors, and there's let's see, the CEO, or one of the co-CEO of Black Wall Street, his name is Eldorado Anderson.
Yeah.
He's on Facebook. He does Black Wall Street all over. He's a school teacher. He's an author. He does Black Wall Street, Bridgeport, Black Wall Street, D.C.
I've seen the D.C. one after Bridgeport, but unfortunately I was unable to travel at that time. But I definitely saw that one, so that's very inspiring.
I don't travel. I wait until he comes here because he'll be back like in the fall. He'll be
Yeah.
back in the fall.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
what
it
they
gives
say.
us an opportunity for all the vendors to display their service or their product. So next time we got to get Donna involved in Black Wall Street. You would love it. You would love it. It's such a great event,
Yes,
isn't
it was awesome, and it was like, everybody went to everyone's table, whether it was to encourage them and they didn't have the money to support or buy something. People just showed love. That enough was priceless and good
Yeah.
enough. The good things in life are free anyway, so that was amazing.
That's true. And there is about I think this time there's about 60 vendors. There's no way you can buy from each one. So
Yeah, I know,
every time you go, you buy a few things here and there and support.
Just networking alone was important enough. So
Yeah, look where it got me. I found
Yes.
you. I met you. So, just to switch gears again, why don't you tell us your story, who you are, how you got involved in this, and anything else you want to tell us.
Okay. So first and foremost, again, my name is Dominique Turner. That's the name I was born with. I go on Facebook by D Jones. You can reach me at Level Up Warriors LLC on Facebook. What inspired me with the mental health movement is I had a lot of losses. One in particular was my dad. At 13, I lost him because he had kidney failure and he was on dialysis. And just throughout the years, his body was declining and stuff. And I was just one of those kids out of the bunch that it took a heavy toll on. I felt like I wanted to save him from his illness and be his protector. And I fell into a great depression. You know, I was very lonely on holidays. My dad was like my best friend. I went everywhere with my dad, and so did my sisters and I. There's 3 of us. I'm a middle child. By the way, I am a single mom of 2 boys. I have 3 boys, but one is in heaven. He passed away in September of last year. I'll get to that. But what I wanted to just say is I suffered a lot with mental health growing up, and that was one of my first steps in, you know, realizing that I had a problem. And I just want people to know that it's okay not to be okay, you know. I was 13 when my dad passed, but he was sick for about 5-6 years, maybe even more, if I can't remember. But he was in and out of the hospital, hooked up all the time to tubes and, you know, the ventilators down his throat and stuff like that. So it was hard being young, and you know what's happening, but I don't think it really takes a full effect until you realize that they're not here anymore, you know, like it's real, you know. So we got to cherish life while we have it, because you can be here today, gone tomorrow. So, you know, that was one of the first things that I struggled with concerning mental health. There's multiple things which we'll get to, but my dad dying, that's what started it off.
I am so sorry for your loss, first of all.
Thank
My
you.
deepest condolences
Yes.
for your dad and your son, was it?
My son
Your
and my
son.
spouse of about 4 years, going on 5.
Wow.
So my next loss was my best friend Tuck. And, you know, I grew up with her during those stages when my dad was alive. So she meant a lot to me. And that was my diary. And, you know, everywhere I went, she went. If I'm driving, she's on the passenger. If I'm on the passenger, she's on the driver. So, you know, she was very important to me. And one day I just got a call, and I had to rush up to Yale New Haven Hospital. And long story short, she had a brain aneurysm.
Oh my goodness.
So, you know, I was the best friend along with multiple other ones, you know, sitting by her side, holding her hand, praying for her, you know, just making sure that, you know, she felt my presence. And it was hard to go through because we've cried to each other for the loss of our parents. We've wiped each other tears, and, you know, that bond was just hard to lose. But, you know, I just try to live through them and try to make a difference in the community, in the world, and, you know, better myself as a person, because I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've done things. But, you know, now is the time to get it right before it's too late, and, you know, make every day count.
Absolutely. You know, like I said before, my heart goes out to you. I can't even begin to imagine how difficult that was. Was there one particular thing or 2 things that you did specifically to get you through? Like, you know, for me, whenever I have a problem, I lost 2 brothers, and,
Sorry to hear that.
you know, very, very close to them. So for me, what I had to do to get through, my brother Greg, who lived with me, we were just so close. It seems like I had to pray my way through every single minute. I couldn't focus on anybody else. I just had to focus on me. And so what I'm asking you, was there anything that you did specifically to help you through those hard times? And what can we do now? What did you learn that you could share? What kind of experiences, you know, going through that? Did you just scream and cry? And, you know, what did you do?
For me, I did it all. I broke. I broke down. I got aggressive. I lashed out on people. It's okay not to be okay. And I want to say that when you're in that frame of mind and your mental health is not where it's supposed to be at in life positively, you will break. You will have those days where you get irritated with people. You will have those days when you lash out. And people have to realize it's not you. It's the disease that you're going through, that you're fighting to be better from. When I lost these people, I'm going to go into September of last year. I got pregnant in June 11th, and, I was with my soulmate for about 4 years going into 5 years, and, everything was going okay and smoothly. We were getting to that point of our relationship where, everything was peaceful at the time, and so I didn't know I was pregnant, so I ended up getting rushed to the hospital because I was bleeding heavily, like more than what a menstrual more than what a menstrual period should be. So that's when I found out I was pregnant, and I suffer from subchronic hemorrhaging. So from day one of me finding out about my pregnancy, every month up until he passed away, I was bleeding consistently all throughout those months. But every time we would go check up on my son, he would be full of life. He would be dancing. He would show me like, Mom, I'm fighting, So, when you're a firm believer in God, you just like, okay, he's okay no matter what the doctors say, because I see it. He's dancing. He's waving his fingers. He's sucking his fingers. He's kicking. He's full of life because he's moving,
Right, and so, God's got the final say.
Right, so I went through those 4 months going on 5. It was very tough in my house because it's like you're constantly bleeding, you're scared, you're nervous. You want to think positive as a parent because you don't ever want to think you would have to cremate your child or whatever the case is, bury. I didn't bury him because he was so small. But I did cremate him, and, one day my water broke while I was at work again. My water broke. I didn't know my water broke. I just was feeling funny, and I kind of just pushed it to the side because I'm like, okay, you've been sick. You got a sick pregnancy. So I went to go drop a coworker off, and my water broke as soon as I got out the car. And I rushed to the hospital, and the student nurse is putting the jelly on my stomach, and I didn't hear a heartbeat. And when you've already been a mom, once they do the circulating movement on your belly, you're supposed to hear a heartbeat. So I didn't. And I already knew what was going on, but I didn't say anything. And since she was new, she stepped out and gave the thing to the head nurse, and then the head nurse told me the news. And that's when she was like, there's no heartbeat, and I broke down so bad.
So did you go for therapy? How did you get through all that? Did it happen no therapy?
I didn't go through therapy. Oof. I just had my boyfriend, my spouse, and my mom and his parents there the whole time, encouraging me, staying on the phone with me, coming by. I didn't think therapy. I was just into a deep depression. I locked myself in a room. I wasn't going to work at first. I just shut down from the world because that is my third son, and I wanted that to be my last child. I was like, I'm 3 and done. So just to see that, we had a gender reveal coming up that week, and there's no baby, or I didn't find out it was a boy until the day I lost him. My best friend Taylor told me. So I was like, wow. And he cried, and he said, wow, a junior. He was so excited because he has a son, and his son isn't named after him. So he just was so happy that, wow, I was gonna have a child that was named after me. And he just looked me in the eyes, and I just remember him saying, I wish I could die right now. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he said, my son, he's gone. And that right there, I just dropped a tear because he said it while my son was going to the morgue. So
I have a question. Did your siblings were right there with you?
No, my mom watched my kids.
Wow.
My mom watched my kids when we said our goodbyes to my son that I lost.
Wow. So, oh my goodness, you have been through a lot, and I am so sorry for that.
Yeah.
So, when someone is going through what you went through or anything close, and they go on to Level Up Warriors LLC on Facebook, how do you begin the healing process? What do you do? Do you reach out? What is your organization all about? What do you guys provide?
The thing with the Facebook is that they see my pain. I'm still going through it. I'm still healing.
Mm-hmm.
They watch my pain. They see it. They call me. They write me. They text me. I've anonymously helped people through suicide and things just by posting my truth.
Suicide prevention? Oh my
Just
goodness.
by
that's
posting my
so-
truth. I've had people write me poems of how much I helped them out, and I'm literally breaking down like, wow, I'm making a difference. Because at first when you do something like this, you're like, oh, the community's not gonna really feel anything like this. If you feel like in our city, if it's nothing negative, people won't really cling to it. But I've been getting such a great feedback from this, and they watch me more on Facebook. I tell my truth. If I'm hurt, if I go home and I'm hurt tonight, I'll write, I'm feeling a little down today. I miss my angels. It's okay not to be okay. And the thing is, especially with our generation, we feel
Yes.
like we have to bottle those things up. Like if you're weak if you express yourself, But me.
Go ahead. I have a question for you.
Me losing my son and my boyfriend has made a great impact on the people around me, because now they're wanting to express their mental health problems. Whether it doesn't have to be loss.
Yep.
It can be anything: depression, suicide, anxiety. I suffer from those things too. Some people just feel lonely. Some people don't have family. Some people don't have friends to reach out to.
Well, I don't want you to feel alone, because I'm a Medicare agent, and I sit down with like 10 or 15 families per week. And during this pandemic, I think everybody
We're all going
was
through
on
it.
some type of anxiety medication.
Yes.
Yes,
Right,
I'm
Donna? We're
I'm on
all-
medication right now.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
I'm a CNA, and I see all that going through. Even young people, young women, they're going in anxiety, and all of a sudden their body begin to break down. They need help.
It's serious.
So it's a very serious thing that going on out there. We
Yeah,
need one
it's
another.
serious. And then 13 days later, I lost my boyfriend
Oh God.
right after we cremated my son. So
13
it was
days.
like 13 days later.
Ooh.
A week and 6 days. And the day I lost him was the day of our gender reveal. He was just, defending a friend, and he lost his life for it. He doesn't live the street life or anything, but they took his. But I sat back, and I was upset, and I was angry. I was lashing out at people. I was so lost. I was drinking. I was just running away from my mom and the family, because we lived 10 houses away from my mom. We had our own place, and my mom's right here in the house that she owns. And I would not go back to that apartment. The PTSD was crazy.
It is.
It kept me up at night. I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't eat. I'm getting up 4 or 5 in the morning to go to where he lost his life at, to light candles, and my mind was just everywhere. I was so lost. Like, I didn't want the help, because I was just so upset. Like, how could you take somebody that didn't deserve its life? And I was upset. It was like back to back to back, and it was like, God, why me? All I remember is crying in my mom's arm, and all my friends and family was around. I kept crying to God, like, why me? Why me? Why you keep doing this to me if you love me, But
So Donna, she is very, very into the church. And when you question, what do you have to add when people, because I think we've all questioned God at some point, not, intentionally, but just out of rage and pain and loss of family members that you love. So when somebody says why,
boy, she touched my
what
heart.
advice? Yeah, I'm hitting you.
I'm just listening to her story, and I'm telling you, I just want to say to you, Dominique, you have been through. Just know that what you have been through is not just for you alone. You have been through it for many other young lady out there who seems like all is going well for them, but you take it on because God sees that you can bear it. So your purpose today is to go and tell your testimony. There is a ministry that is inside of you, and the world need to know about you, and this is the start of your ministry. So God is looking down at you today, telling your story. That women out there need to hear your story today. God didn't allow Dominique to go through this for no reason. So God is speaking to you today. This is a ministry that you need to go for it and tell young women out there to stand as the woman that they are. You are carrying many women out there story, and God wants you to release it out there, because you are helping somebody today. You are helping more than you can imagine. How many people will watch this story and reach out to you. Listen, you touched my very heart this morning. You touched me so deeply. I'm listening here, and it's like my whole heart is tearing, because I remember back in the days that I was almost, I wanted to kill myself. Let me put it out there, real talk.
Yeah.
I want to hurt myself. I didn't want to live anymore, Dominique. So I kind of know a little bit, all because God needed me.
Yeah.
The Lord just turned his back just a little bit away from you, because he's been talking to you. He's been saying, Dominique, I need you. I need you. And it's the same way he used to do. I used to run away, didn't want to go to church because of church hurt, because of what people in the church say. But I recognize that we cannot look about what the others in the church saying about us, because each and every one of us has to stand before God and give our own answer to God.
Yeah.
So stand up as the woman of God that you are. Your chance now is to seek God's face with your business and everything that you're seeking God for. Put God first and watch God do the work for you.
Thank you.
By the
so
way,
much.
you're such a beautiful woman, and you really stand out. You stand out. Oh my God. I'm going to keep you in my prayer.
Oh my
Thank
goodness.
you.
And this Level Up Warriors, you have helped so many people.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have no idea. Everybody at some point in their life feels, it gets to a breaking point.
Yes.
That's what I
Yeah.
call it. And PTSD comes in all different types of forms.
Yes.
I experienced it, and I still do at some point, because of the field of work that I'm in. You know, a lot of people don't understand being discriminated against for years and years and years and years causes some level of PTSD.
Ooh.
But people that are watching now, seeing what you went through, and you're sitting here just telling everybody about it, you're making somebody else stronger. They're thinking, okay, if Dominique suffered this and that and this and you know, all these losses,
That's a lot.
then their life is not over.
Ooh.
We've all felt at some point like we've gotten to our breaking point, and like you said, you think suicidal. It could be from whatever is going on in your life. No one is perfect. No life is perfect. But if we all stick together and know that you are not alone, whoever you are out there listening to our voice, whatever your problem is, whether it's loss of family members, or, you know, maybe there's a problem with your marriage. I've been married 35 years, and I can tell you I've been through every single problem you could think of.
I know, right?
You can survive. You can survive. Even if you have to take it one single minute at a time. Like when I lost my brother, I couldn't look at pictures for 9 years. Every minute of every day seems like, or every hour, I had to stop what I was doing and just pray my way through it.
Yeah.
Take one breath at a time. Put one foot in front of the other. And another thing I found that I learned much later on was to get some help. Get help. You don't have to pay a psychiatrist, $200 an hour. If you have basic medical insurance, now I'm getting to my field here.
Yeah.
Whether you're on
I'm in
Medicare,
therapy.
whether you're on Husky, or just whatever you have at work or whatever, and you get your card and it says $20 for PCP, that's your primary care physician. You pay $20 when you go there when you have a cold or whatever. And then there's another section on there that says SPEC. That is your specialist. And it might say $40 or $45, even $50. That means that you can go to a specialist, a mental health specialist,
Yeah.
pay him, your insurance will cover it, and all you would have to pay is like maybe $30 or $40 or $50, whatever that amount is, and sit and talk with someone to help you through whatever problems that you're having.
And if you have state help, they don't charge you at all. The
Yep.
state pays for it.
It depends. Oh, yeah, if you're on Husky or if you're on the state, you can get all of that for free. And oh my goodness, this show is over already. We're going to continue this on the next show because I am so not done. But Dominique Turner, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week, right?
Yes.
And always, Don, it's always a pleasure.
Always.
It's over. It's over so fast. So we have to go now, and we want to thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next week, and this is the David Goodman Reality and Truth Show, and we're on your side.